People love to say, just buy something reliable, you'll be fine. But what if I told you some of the most trusted, reliable cars on the road are the same ones quietly draining owners' bank accounts after 80, 100, 120,000 miles? Not because they break down every day, but because when they do need repairs, the bills hit harder than anyone expects. We're talking cars with great reputations, cars mechanics recommend, cars families buy thinking they're being smart, and then the repair bills start stacking up. Today we're breaking down 10 reliable cars that turn into money pits, and why so many owners never see it coming. Let's get into it. Number 10, Toyota Camry. The Toyota Camry is one of the most trusted cars in the United States. It has a long reputation for reliability, low breakdown risk, and predictable ownership. That reputation is the reason millions of buyers choose it without hesitation. And to be clear, the Camry usually does not fail catastrophically. The engine often lasts well past 150,000 miles. The car typically starts every morning and continues to do its basic job. The problem begins after about 100,000 miles when ownership costs quietly increase. At that point, many Camry owners start facing suspension wear all at once. Struts, control arms, bushings, and wheel bearings often need attention within a short period of time. Cooling system components also begin to age at this mileage. Water pumps, radiators, and hoses are common wear items. These are not rare failures, and they are not covered repairs. On some engines, oil consumption becomes noticeable as mileage increases. This does not usually cause immediate engine failure. However, it leads to higher maintenance costs and closer monitoring over time. None of these issues make the car unreliable in the traditional sense. The Camry usually keeps running. That is exactly why owners keep approving repairs. Each individual repair often costs several $100s. Over a few years, those repairs add up to several $1,000s. Most owners never budgeted for that level of ongoing spending. The Camry does not become a money pit overnight. It becomes one slowly through normal wear that feels reasonable every time it happens. By the time owners look back, they are often surprised by how much they have spent. This is not a bad car. It is a car whose reputation encourages people to spend more than they plan. And that is a financial trap many buyers never see coming. Number 9, Nissan Altima. The Nissan Altima is widely seen as a practical and reliable midsize sedan. It is affordable, fuel efficient, and very common on American roads. Many buyers choose it because it looks like a safe alternative to more expensive competitors. During the early years of ownership, the Altima often performs exactly as expected. The engine usually runs smoothly, and basic maintenance costs remain reasonable. This creates confidence and encourages owners to keep the car long-term. The financial problem typically begins as mileage approaches 100,000 miles. At that point, many Altima owners start experiencing transmission-related issues. These issues often begin gradually with hesitation, rough acceleration, or inconsistent shifting. In many cases, owners are told that the transmission fluid is lifetime and does not require regular service. This leads to delayed maintenance and accelerated internal wear. Once symptoms become noticeable, the damage is often already done. Transmission repairs on the Altima are rarely inexpensive. Rebuilds and replacements can cost several $1,000s. For many owners, this single repair exceeds the remaining value of the car. The vehicle may still run and drive, which makes the decision harder. Owners are forced to choose between paying a large repair bill or replacing the entire car unexpectedly. Neither option feels like a good outcome. This is why the Altima becomes a money pit for many long-term owners. It is not because the car fails constantly, it is because one predictable failure carries a very high financial consequence. The Altima feels like a smart and economical choice at purchase. Over time, that perception can turn into regret, especially for owners who plan to keep the car well past 100,000 miles. Number 8, Ford Explorer. The Ford Explorer is one of the best-selling SUVs in the United States. Families trust it because it feels solid, powerful, and safe. Many buyers believe they are getting a durable American SUV that can handle long-term ownership. During the first years, the Explorer often delivers exactly that impression. It drives comfortably, has strong highway performance, and offers plenty of space. This builds confidence and encourages owners to keep the vehicle well past 100,000 miles. That is where the financial reality often changes. One of the biggest long-term cost drivers is the engine design used in many Explorers. Certain engines use an internal water pump that is buried deep inside the engine. When that water pump fails, it is not a simple repair. Replacing it requires extensive labor. In many cases, the repair bill reaches several $1,000s. If the failure is not caught early, it can lead to serious engine damage. In addition to that, suspension and drivetrain components tend to wear heavily as mileage increases. Ball joints, control arms, wheel bearings, and rear suspension parts often need replacement around the same time. Each repair alone may seem manageable, but together they create a steady financial burden. All-wheel drive versions add another layer of cost. Power transfer units and related components are known wear items. These repairs are expensive and are rarely part of an owner's original budget. The Explorer usually does not fail suddenly. It continues to run and drive, which encourages owners to keep repairing it. That is why costs accumulate slowly but consistently. Over several years, many owners spend far more than expected just to maintain normal operation. The vehicle still feels useful, which makes walking away difficult. This is how a trusted family SUV turns into a long-term money pit. The Ford Explorer is not unreliable in the classic sense. It is financially risky for owners who plan to keep it long-term, and that distinction matters more than most buyers realize. Number 7. Chevrolet Equinox. The Chevrolet Equinox is one of the most common compact SUVs in the United States. It is often marketed as affordable, practical, and reliable transportation. Many buyers choose it because it feels like a safe and sensible family vehicle. During the early years, the Equinox usually performs without major issues. Fuel economy is reasonable, the ride is comfortable, and maintenance costs stay low. This creates the impression that ownership will remain inexpensive long-term. The financial problems typically appear as mileage climbs past 100,000 miles. At that point, engine-related issues become more common. Timing chain wear, oil consumption, and internal engine stress are known long-term concerns. These problems do not usually cause immediate failure. Instead, they lead to warning lights, rough running, and repeated shop visits. Repairs often involve significant labor and expensive internal components. In addition to engine issues, suspension and steering parts tend to wear quickly. Control arms, bushings, and wheel bearings often need replacement around the same time. Each repair may seem reasonable on its own, but together they raise ownership costs sharply. Many Equinox owners face a difficult decision at this stage. The car still runs and feels usable. However, the repair bills begin to approach the vehicle's market value. Because the Equinox is seen as a budget-friendly SUV, most buyers did not plan for these expenses. They expected predictable ownership, not repeated repairs. That gap between expectation and reality creates frustration and regret. The Equinox does not become a money pit because it breaks constantly. It becomes one because several known issues appear in the same ownership window. Once that happens, costs rise faster than most owners are prepared for. This is why the Equinox often disappoints long-term owners. It feels like a smart buy at first. Over time, it becomes a financial burden that is hard to justify. Number 6. Honda CR-V. The Honda CR-V is one of the most trusted compact SUVs in the United States. It is known for reliability, practicality, and strong resale value. Many buyers choose it because they believe it is one of the safest long-term ownership choices available. In the first years, that belief usually feels justified. The CR-V drives well, uses fuel efficiently, and rarely causes serious problems early on. Routine maintenance costs are generally reasonable. The issue appears as mileage moves beyond 100,000 miles. At that point, ownership costs often increase faster than expected. This is especially true on models with more complex drivetrains and added technology. Engine-related repairs become more common with age. Issues such as oil dilution, increased oil consumption, and sensor failures have been widely reported by long-term owners. These problems do not always cause immediate breakdowns, but they do require repeated attention. Transmission behavior is another concern for owners, keeping the CR-V long-term. Shuddering, hesitation, and inconsistent performance often lead to expensive diagnostics. In many cases, fixes involve software updates, fluid services, or major repairs that are not cheap. Suspension components also tend to wear around the same mileage window. Struts, control arms, bushings, and wheel bearings frequently need replacement together. When this happens, repair costs rise quickly. Individually, none of these issues seem extreme. The problem is how closely they occur together. Owners often face several costly repairs within a short period of time. Because the CR-V still runs and feels useful, many owners keep repairing it. They believe the reputation justifies the spending. Over time, that spending quietly exceeds what they originally planned. The Honda CR-V is not a bad vehicle. It is a vehicle whose reputation encourages long-term ownership without honest cost expectations. For many buyers, that gap turns a trusted SUV into a financial disappointment. Number 5. Toyota Highlander. The Toyota Highlander is widely viewed as one of the safest family SUV choices in the United States. It has a strong reputation for reliability, comfort, and long-term durability. Many buyers choose it specifically because they plan to keep it for a very long time. In the early years, the Highlander usually performs exactly as expected. The engine is smooth, the ride is comfortable, and serious problems are rare. This reinforces the idea that it is a low-risk vehicle. The financial issue appears later in ownership, usually after 100,000 miles. At that point, repair costs tend to rise sharply. This is not because of constant failures, but because of the type of repairs involved. Suspension components often wear together due to the vehicle's weight. Struts, control arms, bushings, and wheel bearings commonly need replacement within a similar time frame. These repairs are labor-intensive and not inexpensive. All-wheel drive versions add additional long-term costs. Drivetrain components such as differentials and transfer-related parts require maintenance and repair. These expenses are often overlooked when buyers calculate ownership costs. As the vehicle ages, electrical and convenience systems also begin to fail. Power features, sensors, and climate control components are common problem areas. None of these issues stop the vehicle from running, but they add up financially. The Highlander usually continues to drive well, even as repair needs increase. That makes it difficult for owners to stop investing money into it. Each repair feels reasonable on its own. Over several years, many owners spend thousands of dollars beyond normal maintenance. Because of the Toyota reputation, these costs are often accepted without question. This is how a trusted family SUV slowly becomes a money pit. The Toyota Highlander is not unreliable. It is expensive to keep in top condition as it ages. For long-term owners, that distinction matters more than most buyers expect. Number 4. Jeep Grand Cherokee. The Jeep Grand Cherokee is one of the most popular midsize SUVs in the United States. It is often seen as a comfortable, capable, and upscale vehicle that can handle long-term ownership. Many buyers trust it because it feels solid and drives well, both in the city and on the highway. In the early years, the Grand Cherokee usually delivers a good ownership experience. The ride is smooth, the interior feels refined, and performance is strong. This creates the impression that it is a durable and well-built SUV. The financial risk becomes clear as mileage increases beyond 100,000 miles. At that point, repair frequency and complexity tend to rise noticeably. Many of these issues are related to drivetrain, electronics, and suspension systems. Suspension components are a major cost factor. Air suspension systems, when equipped, are expensive to repair and maintain. Even conventional suspension setups involve costly labor and multiple parts wearing at the same time. Electrical problems are another common long-term concern. Sensors, control modules, and infotainment components often fail with age. Diagnosing these issues can be time-consuming and expensive. Transmission and drivetrain repairs also contribute to rising ownership costs. Shifting issues, driveline vibrations, and four-wheel drive-related problems are not uncommon at higher mileage. These repairs are rarely cheap and often come without much warning. The Grand Cherokee usually continues to drive well despite these issues. That encourages owners to keep fixing it instead of replacing it. Over time, repair spending quietly exceeds expectations. This is why many long-term owners feel disappointed. They did not expect constant high-dollar repairs from a vehicle with such a strong image. What felt like a premium and capable SUV slowly turns into a financial burden. The Jeep Grand Cherokee is not unreliable in a dramatic way. It is expensive to own as it ages. For buyers planning long-term ownership, that difference is critical. Number 3. Toyota Tacoma. The Toyota Tacoma is often described as one of the most durable vehicles on American roads. It has a reputation for being nearly indestructible. Many buyers believe it is one of the safest long-term ownership choices available. And in terms of basic durability, that reputation exists for a reason. The Tacoma usually starts, runs, and keeps going, even with high mileage. Catastrophic failures are relatively rare compared to many competitors. The financial problem is not whether the Tacoma lasts. The problem is what it costs to keep it in good condition over time. As mileage passes 100,000 miles, where related repairs become common, suspension components such as ball joints, control arms, leaf springs, and shocks often need replacement. Because the Tacoma is a truck, these parts are heavier and more expensive than those on a sedan. Steering components and wheel bearings are another common long-term cost. These repairs are not unusual, but they are not cheap. Labor costs add up quickly, especially when multiple components wear at the same time. Fuel economy is also part of the financial equation. Compared to modern crossovers, the Tacoma consumes significantly more fuel. Over several years of ownership, that difference represents thousands of dollars in additional cost. Maintenance costs are higher than many buyers expect. Tires, brakes, and drivetrain servicing are more expensive than on smaller vehicles. Many owners underestimate how much routine ownership adds up over time. The Tacoma usually remains drivable throughout all of this. That encourages owners to keep repairing it instead of replacing it. Because of the reputation, spending money feels justified. This is how the Tacoma becomes a money pit for some owners. Not because it breaks constantly, but because long-term ownership is far more expensive than expected. Durability does not automatically mean affordability. The Toyota Tacoma is a strong and capable truck. It is also a vehicle that quietly demands a high financial commitment. For buyers who focus only on reliability, that reality often comes as a surprise. Number 2. Subaru Outback. The Subaru Outback is widely seen as a smart and responsible vehicle choice. It is known for standard all-wheel drive, good safety ratings, and long-term dependability. Many buyers trust it because it feels practical and engineered for longevity. In the early years of ownership, the Outback usually meets expectations. It drives comfortably, performs well in bad weather, and rarely causes major issues. This builds confidence and encourages owners to keep the vehicle long-term. The financial problems tend to appear as mileage climbs past 100,000 miles. At that point, drivetrain-related costs often increase significantly. The all-wheel drive system adds complexity that becomes expensive as the vehicle ages. Transmission-related concerns are a major factor. Many owners report shuddering, hesitation, or inconsistent behavior over time. Repairs and replacements are costly and often come with little warning. Engine-related repairs also contribute to rising ownership costs. Oil consumption and internal sealing issues have been common long-term concerns. These problems do not always cause immediate failure, but they lead to expensive repairs. Suspension and wheel bearing wear is another frequent issue. Because the Outback is heavier and always driving all 4 wheels, components wear faster. Replacing these parts is not unusual, but it is not cheap. The Outback usually continues to run and drive through these problems. That encourages owners to keep investing money into repairs. Over time, those costs quietly exceed what most buyers plan for. The Subaru Outback is not unreliable. It is complex and expensive to maintain as it ages. For long-term owners, that distinction often becomes painfully clear. Number 1. BMW 3 Series. The BMW 3 Series is often described as one of the best-built and best-driving sedans ever made. It has a reputation for strong engineering, performance, and long-term capability. Many buyers believe that if it is maintained properly, it will last a very long time. And mechanically, that is often true. Many 3 Series cars easily reach high mileage. The problem is not durability, the problem is cost. As mileage increases, ownership becomes significantly more expensive. Cooling system components, oil system parts, and electronic modules are common failure points. These repairs are expected, not rare. Labor costs are a major issue. The vehicle is tightly packaged and requires more time to service. Even routine repairs often cost far more than owners expect. Suspension components also wear quickly due to performance tuning. Control arms, bushings, and shocks frequently need replacement. These are not optional repairs if the car is to drive correctly. Electronic systems add another layer of expense. Sensors, control units, and convenience features often fail with age. Diagnosing and repairing these issues is rarely inexpensive. The BMW usually still drives extremely well during all of this. That encourages owners to keep spending money. Walking away feels difficult because the car still feels special. Over several years, repair and maintenance costs can reach tens of thousands of dollars. Most owners never plan for that level of financial commitment. That is how a respected and reliable luxury car becomes a true money pit. The BMW 3 Series is not a bad car. It is a car that demands a high long-term budget. For buyers who confuse reliability with affordability, it is the most expensive mistake on this list. If there is one takeaway from this list, it is this. A car can be reliable and still be a bad financial decision. Most of the vehicles we talked about today do not fail suddenly. They start every morning. They keep driving. That is exactly why they become expensive. Reliability keeps owners emotionally attached. It convinces them to keep repairing instead of stepping back. And over time, those repairs quietly add up to thousands of dollars. The real question is not, will this car last? The real question is, what will it cost me after 100,000 miles? Marketing does not answer that. Reputation does not answer that. Only long-term ownership does. Some cars break fast and make the decision easy. Others break slowly and trap you financially. Those are the dangerous ones. If this video made you rethink what reliable really means, that was the point. Because smart car ownership is not about fear, it is about understanding consequences before the repair bills show up.